please watch this whole video in HD. I'm going to be going over some very important information considering the amount of games the PS4 and the Xbox One has. Um, Now, first of all, we're going to go with this one and we're going to go to the next one. Then we're going to, like, all of these charts are going to get more and more detailed between the genre, the style, all of that. So, right now, games by console, the PS4 has 79, the Xbox One has 55. They both share only 32. Total launch games, the PS4 has 22, the Xbox One has 23. They both share 12. Okay? And here we go to announced games by genre. Right? We're at this section now. Original IPs. The PS4 has 42. Original IPs might as well be considered new IPs. New IPs. 42 for the PS4. Only 18 for the Xbox One. You see, when you can say, oh, my console has more games, but what type of games? That's what really matters. Indie games, 24. 24 for the PS4. 5 for the Xbox One. You see how we're getting deeper and deeper into this ownage that the Xbox One has no games. It has no new games. It has no games that you really want to play. Let's go right here to this little section right here. Rhythm games. We know rhythm games can also be considered casual. The PS4 only has one. You're not going to be bombarded with that, but the Xbox One has three. They could be a number of games. When you're talking about, oh, Xbox One's got to have more games that I want, aka shooters, PS4 has 21. Xbox One around this time only has 12. So if you want shooters, that's what you've been bitching about on the Xbox 360. We have the best shooters. We have the best shooters. You're not getting a lot of those, but you have a lot of those on the PS4. Then we can go to a different category. If you're saying, oh, having shooters is a bad thing, let's go to survival horror. PS4 has 5. Xbox One only has 2. RPGs. PS4 has 8. Xbox One only has 5. Do you get what I'm saying? Puzzle games. You want something new and different? PS4 has 6 of those. Xbox One only has 1. Platformers. PS4 has 3 of those. Xbox One has 0. MMOs. MMOs. A game that can stand the test of the generation if it's supported right. PS4 has 4 of those. Xbox One only has 1. And we don't even know what the MMO that could be. Action, adventure, / RPG stealth. PS4 has 10 of those. Xbox One has 7. Action games. PS4 has 10. Xbox One has 8. Let's go to the launch games by genre. PS4 has 3. Xbox One has 4. Action, adventure, RPG, and stealth games. Both PS4 and Xbox One have 2. Could be multiplats. Fighting games. PS4 has 0 this year, launch games. Xbox One has 2. I do know one of those 2 are Killer Instinct. MMOs at launch. PS4 1. Xbox One 0. Puzzle games. At launch, both systems have 1 equal. Racing games at launch. PS4 has 2, Xbox One has 3. Rhythm games at launch. PS4 only has that 1 that I talked to you about on the last chart. Xbox One has 2. Shooters at launch. PS4 has 6. Remember, one of those are being exclusive, Killzone Shadowfall. And the Xbox One has 3, which is consisting of Battlefield 4, Call of Duty, and another shooter that I don't remember. I don't remember all the launch games for every system so far by name, but we're going over these charts so we can learn some of this stuff. Sports game. Xbox One has 5. PS4 has 4. Many of those are probably multiplats. The Xbox One gets 1 extra because of the Kinect Sports. Remember that. Kinect is going to have a casual sports game called Kinect Sports for the Xbox One. And others, in the others category, both have 2. Could be multiplats. Now we're going to the launch games section. True exclusives at launch. PS4 has 4, Xbox One has 10. And I can argue with that many of those so-called true exclusives are timed exclusives that you have saw from the same companies this generation in the past 8 years have scrolled their way over to the PlayStation side. Uh, we can talk about games like Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1 as well as Mass Effect 2 were probably never going to come to the PS3, but they did. And of course, the third installment, same day, came to the PS3. So that's the only argument I can make. Don't always believe what you see. A year later, things could change. Console exclusives at launch, PS4 has 8, Xbox One has 11. When you talk about console exclusives, we are talking about games that do share the spotlight with the PC. That's pretty much average. Next gen only games at launch. We got 8 for the PS4, 11 for the Xbox One. Original IPs at launch, 8 for the PS4, 5 for the Xbox One. That's a big this out of the other three categories we just covered. That's a big deal because that means we're getting new IPs at launch, and the Xbox One is not really getting new IPs. Indie games at launch, 2 equal for the PS4 and Xbox One. And I'm not sure if this is the last category, but we're covering announced games. Um, True exclusives, 15 for the PS1, 17 for the Xbox One. Wait. 15 for the PS4, 17 for the Xbox One. Sorry. Um, and as you can see, the PS4 has more games. Maybe not at launch, but we saw how this generation turned out. Might have not had the best launch games, but throughout time, they have games. So if it's games you're talking about, you know they're gonna have games. You saw how this generation turned out. You saw the PS2 generation. You saw the PS1 generation. PlayStation has the games. Don't worry about them. You do have an MMO at the start. You have shooters at the start. 3 of them to be exact: Call of Duty, Battlefield 4, and Killzone. You got games. So I guarantee you by next year, that's when you're gonna see these huge number of PS4 games when the Xbox One is handling some sort of a game drought. Console exclusives: 42 for the PS4, 21 for the Xbox One. That's a huge game drought right there, as you can see. Next gen only games: 51 for the PS4, 27 for the Xbox One. So, it's a simple story. The tortoise and the hare. You can start out fast as fuck, but who's gonna finish the race? You see what I'm saying? This right here proves who is really gonna have the games, not just at launch, not just that illusion, but who's gonna have the games. And also, I'd rather a company and the developer to take their time on the games than rush that shit out day one, and me not having enough games to last me through the end of next year. And we're going to the last category of this chart. Late releases. PS4 has 16, Xbox One has 8. That proves a lot of what I was just saying. Yeah, PS4 is going to have a lot of games. Xbox One really isn't. They're putting all their money in one pot at the first and second month of the launch of their console, which we don't know when their console is going to launch. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully it helped you guys out. This video was posted in HD, so you could read along with me on the screen. The link to all of these charts are in the description. Once you click that link, it's going to cover each and every one of these charts. They do at the end of the charts, all the way at the bottom of the article, they do cover some of the games that they do know by name. One thing I did not cover in the beginning, I don't think, that the Tokyo Game Show is right around the corner in September. We know that the Tokyo Game Show is basically gonna be Sony's oyster because they got great relations in Japan. We're gonna get a lot of RPGs. We've always been that way with the PS1, PS2, PSP, PS Vita. We're gonna get those RPGs. It's gonna mark that number very high. So, you know, Tokyo Game Show, another big leap for games that have yet been announced for games. You know, so once again, don't don't want to hear anybody say PS4 has no games. PS4 has games. It's Xbox One you should really be worried about. Just because they're showing you everything they got in the beginning and not having anything the test of time throughout the first real full year of the console being alive, that right there is not good. And I can give you a perfect prime example for that. The Wii U. The Wii U might have started out good, but look at its first year of 2013, the first year of the console being alive, it didn't receive shit. Now we know Microsoft's gonna receive a lot of third-party titles, but one thing that is gonna distinguish each console from another is those exclusives. Yes, those exclusives, console exclusives, and those just plain exclusives that are not gonna be on a PC. That's what gamers are really going out to get the PS4 for. Infamous, Killzone, a potential Naughty Dog game next year, a potential Sony Santa Monica game next year. That's what we're getting hyped for. Media Molecule. That's what we're getting hyped for. You know. So take this information, spread it around. Nobody should be getting caught up in any of these arguments and be frozen up when a Xbox fan tell you the PS4 has no games. I don't want you guys to just sit back and let them own you when clearly they don't know what's really going on. You have the information. You know what's really going on right now. You click those links, study the charts, get this familiar in your brain. You know what's happening.